require the state to give us some relief. So that's why the Jammu Kashmir government also give the 3.5 lakh relief to every individuals who killed or injured in this militant activity. Central government also give the 454.12 crore rupees to the SCRE scheme. And the government also handed over this matter to a political matter. In a political scenario, the government take a step to develop a positive manner between the both nations and between the both state relations. To increase this system, the relation between the India and Pakistan must be included the Srinagar Muzaffarabad bus services, Pooch Rawalpur bus services, Amritsar Lahore bus services, Amritsar Nanagaon Sahib bus services को समझौता एक्सप्रेस तक आ रहे हैं। हमें ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि हमारी अपोजिशन ये क्यों कहना चाहती कि हम दिल्ली से हमने तो केवल बस उसे जताया नहीं है कि हमने कुछ हमारी सरकार में केवल अंतर इतना है कि हम करने पर विश्वास करते हैं तकनीक में।
I would now like to call Ms. Shwetangana to raise a question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam, terrorism. What is terrorism? Terrorism is any act designed to cause terror which harms many lives and causes destruction. The terrorist attack which happened in Paris, which was so unexpected on 13/11, which was a major threat to France. Before this also, there was a 9/11 attack. The 26/11 terrorist attack in Mumbai was threatening and the police got alarmed. US has increased their protection levels. Now, Madam, and there are no terrorist attacks as such. Madam Speaker, I would like to raise the question that is the government of India taking a step to increase the protection levels as India has been targeted many times? And watching the conditions of these countries, it is quite sure that we will again be targeted soon. So, is there any step which the government of India is taking to improve the conditions of the economy and guarantee safety to the people?
Now I would like to call Mr. Varun Jain on behalf of the government to answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Last year, our defense budget was rupees 2,24,000 crores. Our government have raised the defense budget to rupees 2,46,727 crores in 2015. This amounts to a 7.7% increase over the previous year's allocation. This is exclusive of another 62,852.6 crores provided to the Ministry of Defence under the heads Defence Pension and Civil Expenditure of the Ministry, both of which do not form the part of India's official defence budget. We have strengthened the Intelligence Bureau by galvanizing and reorganizing the multi-agency centers in the Intelligence Bureau to enable it to function on 24/7 basis. The multi-agency center was also obliged to share intelligence with all other agencies, including agencies of the state and of the union territories. An online, dedicated and secure connectivity between all the designated members of the MAC, between the MAC and the subsidiary multi-agency centers in 30 key locations across the country is also established. The National Security Guards, NSGs, whose commandos battled the terrorists in Mumbai, now have 4 NSG hubs, each with an operational strength of around 250 personnel in Hyderabad, Kolkata, Mumbai and Chennai. Following 26/11, coastal security is also reviewed at various levels. Under the coastal security scheme, 64 out of 73 coastal police stations are operationalized. Coastal states and union territories are also given 126 interceptor boats so far. The National Police Mission is also set up with the aim of equipping the police to think creatively and help it transform itself from a reactive to a proactive organization. And this is not it. Government is taking every possible measure not only to prevent India from terrorism but also to remove terrorism from its roots. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I would like to start the 0 hour. The first discussion scheduled for this 0 hour is pertaining to judicial appointment. I would now like to call Mr. Nilesh to put his views before the House.
Good afternoon, respected Speaker and all the members of the House. I would like to welcome the decision of the Honorable Apex Court striking down the NJC Act. Collegium system is better than NJC Act because there was an apprehension in NJC Act that it will allow political interest more in the appointment of judges of higher judiciary and will reduce the level of independence in the judiciary by leading compromises with the will of executive directly and indirectly both the ways. In the view of above, I feel that there can be brought more transparency in the appointment of judges of High Court because from here directly person enters into the higher judiciary in powerful and responsible constitutional post. The collegium system shall seek opinion of concerned chairman or State Bar Council and Bar Council of India with regard to advocate being recommended in return and if person holding judicial office for 10 years is being recommended. The opinion of central government and state government shall be invited them with regard to his conduct and efficiency. If any objection are notified in written and serious in nature, the Collegium of Judges shall make scrutiny of such objection and then forward the same to the Chief Justice of India and Collegium system of Judges in Supreme Court. The scrutiny of disposal by Chief Justice of India over the complaint or objection with regard to person being appointed shall be published in Official Gazette of Government of India. If person is recommended and his name is not recommended, no need to collegium and warrant appointed issued by President of India within 1 month. Within 1 month, the central government or any authority person shall be allowed to file writ petition against person being recommended on serious ground. If he has already evidence prepared and shall be decided in priority with 1 month before warrant is issued for appointment as judge in the High Court to which judge is being appointed and for the appointment of judge in Supreme Court. The time frame to submit report the collegium shall be determined clearly and failing in which will result in clearing the path of collegium of judges. No one shall be allowed to delay the appointment unnecessarily. However, the Supreme Court shall have always power to subject the appointment of High Court judges to the judicial review in exceptional case in case of fraudulent opinion of Committee of Bar Councils for the scrutiny and disposal of complaints against prospective judges. If the collegium deems the matter fit for investigation by seeking the help of committee or any other agency, the collegium can do so in its opinion or drop the name for recommended also. If the collegium recommended the name but government deems to carry out investigation at its own level, it can do before publication or scrutiny after disposal by collegium with 1 month of the date of receipt. If government carry out any investigation and submit the report for the consideration of collegium, however, the collegium shall decide whether sufficient ground of rejection of recommendation is there in the report or not. The same report agency shall be also published in Gazette of Government. The Parliament can enact statute to recognize the collegium system and establish the Secretariat under this Act to provide the administrative and clerical support. In the collegium system, our judges are being appointed by the senior judges as per their qualification, abilities and capacity to hold the post. They can evaluate the need better and can have a better insight of the candidate to be appointed for the post. The present collegium system gives independent judiciary which is very much necessary for India. It is only the judiciary judicial system which is out the domain of political and getting victimized to politicians. The major disadvantage with NJSC would be involvement of political in the judicial system, which would create an unwanted influence in the legal framework. Independence of judiciary is very important for any democratic country and its citizens. And losing the same would get common man further and trapped to the political games, which would be no good. Now, NJSC can be better avoided to prevent any deterioration in the judicial framework. Collegium system is definitely better over the NJSC for the prevailing circumstances of our country. Not only India but also various countries like USA, Germany, England, South Africa also apply the collegium system. So the collegium system is always a better way to appoint judges. So why we should adopt NJSC and why the government criticizing the collegium system and wants to involve the government into the judiciary if the collegium is already work well in India. Thank you.
Now I would like to call Mr. Shoaib to put his views before the House.
Honorable Madam Speaker, first of all, I would like to welcome the decision of the Apex Court striking down the NJSC Act. I request the government to deter from bringing any such bill in future. We should understand that it is necessary to keep the judiciary independent from legislature and executive for maintaining the rule of law. The Supreme Court keeps checks and balances on the functioning of the government. The NJSC Act will affect the independence of judiciary because the concept of two eminent persons nominated by a committee in which other than CJI, the Prime Minister, the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha are included. These two eminent persons will result in interference of the government in the judiciary, which is totally against the principle of separation of power. The NJSC will result in election of the judges of the choice of government, and the decisions of the judges elected by NJSC may be affected by the government. So it is obvious that government will select a person which can favor them. Instead of NJSC, the present collegium system is better because in it judges are elected by judges. So madam, in this way, the secrecy and independency of judiciary will remain safe. Recently, the Supreme Court declared the NJSC unconstitutional by stating that it is against the basic feature of our constitution. Madam Speaker, there is nothing bad with present collegium system, but there is a scope for its improvement. You will say that there is lack of transparency in it, but it is totally unfair to say. The government is the main opponent of pupils' cases, and there are chances of abuse of